Welcome, everybody. We are live. This is Charles Cook, partner here at Cook Baxter Immigration. Man, it's been a wild day. The Trump administration is doing all kinds of crazy stuff right now, and we're actively involved in a lot of that litigation on H-1Bs and wage stuff. It's nuts. So take it from me, it's nuts. First of all, welcome all of you who are asleep. I know many of you, it's middle of the night, and I'm sorry that I had to do it this late. For others of you, you're up, but it's been a crazy day. I normally see clients on Thursday, so I could not do it any earlier. I have received so many messages over the last 24 hours as a result of a posting yesterday by one of the lawyers in the consolidated lawsuit, and I just felt it was really necessary to give you an update of what is going on, plus to tell you in more detail what happened in our status conference call with the judge earlier. So here's the deal. The judge, and we've clarified now, I've been waiting and I just got an answer from the Department of State. I asked them 4 questions, and they've answered 2 of them so far. But they've kind of answered the other ones too. So let me tell you the 4 questions that I asked. I'm going to pull it up here so I can read them to you, so you know what I asked the Department of State and what we needed to know, because the judge's order is what we believe it is, but we needed to know what they understand it to be. So the first question I asked was, how many DV2020 visas did the State Department issue by the end of September 30, 2020? Their response was they're not issuing an official total yet, because it does take a while to count everything. But preliminarily, they're saying that they issued 18,000 diversity visas at the consulates, plus 837 diversity visas by the Immigration Service in the United States. Because you were here, you could have applied to adjust your status if you were legally here. So they issued in total 19,125 visas, which means they did just under 6,000 visas, if I get my math right, in 3 weeks, which means they could have done 8,000 in a month, right? So they did just under 6,000 in 3 weeks. So that's it. So that means, so my next question, so that's right, they've issued 19,125 of the 55,000. My next question was, is it their position that there are still 9,095 available visas after September 30th? Because a lot of people are saying, oh no, you got to deduct from that the number of visas they were working on and they issued after September 24th. No. Their answer to that question is that the court ordered the State Department to reserve 9,095 visas after September 30th for future processing. Okay. That means in total, and we'll explain this in a minute, in total, when we finally win the case, they will have issued approximately 28,000 visas, which is about 54% of the visas, a little over half, leaving around 26,000 or so on the table, or so, which is a big deal. We get it. Now, the next question people are asking me, and which I asked them, was, how are you going to allocate the 9,000 visas? Okay. Is it by lottery selection number? Is it by cases completed and pending at the KCC? Is it first people that were postponed the interviews in the spring and did not get interviewed? How are you going to allocate it? Their answer was, we don't know. We don't know. But they clearly believe they don't have to issue those visas now. They're not working on those 9,000 visas now. Their position is they don't have to process those 9,000 cases until the judge makes a final decision on the case. Final decision. The case is not final. So we don't know. No lawyer knows. No human being knows. I bet they don't even know. In the order they're going to process the 9,000 visas. Now, the way cases work in the United States is if you are a plaintiff in a class action, your case gets done first. Now, understand that between Aker and Gomez, there were only about 168 plaintiffs. And I don't know how many plaintiffs, honestly, were in the Fang John and Muhammad lawsuit, but I thought I heard something around 900 or 800 or something like that. So basically, of the 6,000 visas they issued, only 20% were given to plaintiffs. That means 80% went to non-plaintiffs. Now, they went to non-plaintiffs in no particular order. They went to non-plaintiffs who were pounding on the door. I get it. It wasn't fair. But it is what it is. We don't have a time machine. But I did tell everybody that's what you should be doing. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Now, the last question I asked them is the defendant's position, is the state court's decision that it needs to stay in place in order not to process the visas. In other words, that they have to process them or they need to stay to not process them. They didn't answer that question. All right. So there have been a lot of questions. Now, those are the four that I got the answers from personally from the state, from the Department of State. Now, several things have happened since the order. Now, understand, the judge ordered in early September, in September 4th, that one, he initially didn't decide the class, but he ruled that he didn't think he could stop the proclamation's effect. So anybody who got visas, so the 5,000 people, 6,000 who got visas, except for the reissued folks, they're barred. They're barred from coming in. So if you said, whether they put the words subject to proclamation 1014, subject to proclamation 10 or 114, 152, that means you can't come in until the proclamation ends. It ends on the 31st of December. So don't need to ask me, can you come in earlier? You can't. Even if you don't have the visa. Somebody tried to come in this week because they didn't have a proclamation. They had no mention, and they got turned around. So don't come in unless you are one of the exempt people. That is, you had a valid visa on the 24th, 23rd of April, and then it expired and you got a new one. You can come in, but nobody else can. So don't try. You don't want to waste the plane ticket, and it's a long flight back and forth when you can't sleep here or shower. All right. So several things. So in that September 4th, the judge said, I am not going to strike the ban down because I don't think I have the ability to do so. And that was both Gomez and Aker. All right. I don't know whether Fang Zhang or Muhammad attacked that. I'm not familiar with their lawsuit. So as you know, the Gomez case was plaintiffs that were lottery, but also F2As, family-based second preference, spouse and children permanent residence. It was the whole kit and caboodle, which means in English it was everything. They are appealing that decision, that specific decision. They're not appealing any other decision. And you have a right. When you have a preliminary injunction denial, you have a legal right to appeal the preliminary injunction, just like you have the legal right to appeal a grant of a preliminary injunction, and the rest of the case just still processes down below. Because there's various plaintiffs here, you have to understand there's various issues at stake. It is a good idea to attack the proclamation denial by the judge immediately because it frees up these 6,000 people who got visas to come in now. And what they have done, the Gomez plaintiffs, have negotiated with the government to hold the rest of their case. Their case involves everything. Okay? They've negotiated to put a stay on their case in place while they appeal one, and in return, the government has agreed to and expedited a rapid appeal. Because if you don't expedite an appeal, it could take 6 to 8, 10, 12 months. The proclamation will be long be over. So they're on an expedited schedule, and they will likely have a decision from the Court of Appeals probably by the middle of December. Okay, now it won't go any faster than that. That's just litigation in America. All right, but that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. They're not selling out people. They're not doing anything bad. What they did, from their perspective, is a wise and a good thing. Now, as the Aker Council, we did not appeal that denial. One, because Gomez is appealing it. We don't need to both appeal it. And two, I want to continue to fight on this issue to finalize the case. I want to finalize the case in front of the judge on my claims, my act claims, before the end of the year, so that we can free up the use of the 9,000 cases. Now, understand that non-plaintiffs, the Gomez class, that's a Gomez class. So the non-plaintiffs in that case are temporarily stayed for that appeal. But State Department is taking the position that they're stayed anyway, one, two, and two, now that the judge has addressed the preliminary injunction, we go to his normal calendar. And his normal calendar will not get resolved before the end of the year. It's not going to be before the end of the year. So expediting the appeal is a good and a smart legal decision that helps everybody. Now, so I know there was some stuff out there that made it seem like they were horrible people. They're not. They're smart and very good lawyers, and I respect them tremendously. And they're doing the smart thing in their case. At the same time, Aker, who's me, and Jeff Joseph and Greg Siskin, we are pushing forward the case in front of the judge. Now, the next question I saw tons of times, tons of these questions, is this. Is the 9,000 going to be subtracted from DV 2021? No. DV 2020 is its own creature, has nothing to do with our case. Now, you have to understand, the only reason this fight is going on right now is because of Donald Trump and the anti-immigration cabal, the nativists, the people that hate people of other countries, racists, all right? They're the ones stopping this. The good guys are all on our side. From all the cases, these are the good guys here. We're fighting against what can only be called evil. So understand this, and I've said this from the beginning. If Trump wins, nobody's coming in, because he is going to fight. He's going to extend that ban. And unless we can win on the appeal that Gomez is doing, let's get win on that appeal, the extension screws everybody. All right, so we're clear. We know who the good guys are, and we know who the bad guys are here. So you better pray that Americans aren't stupid twice. I don't know who's going to win the election. And Trump, remember, is in office until January 20th. So he is likely to extend the ban. He is going to extend the ban, win or lose. But if he loses, a new President Biden could end the ban right after he is sworn in. And I suspect that they will roll back all those bans right away. And then processing can resume and we'll go forward. So it was a massive victory to have these visas reserved. Now, I'm not happy that it's only 20,000. No plaintiff's lawyer is happy that it's only 20,000. But you can't sue again. You had to have sued before the end of the fiscal year. There's no case authority that helps anybody who sues after the end of the fiscal year. So DV 2020 people, you are tied up within the Gomez Aker, Mohammed, Fang Zhang case. You are tied into that. That is your case. There are no other cases for you. You can't join the DV 2021 lawsuit that we are filing because we don't have any authority to bring you in. Now, understand, for DV 2020, we will be actively advocating to recover those other 24,000 visas through Congress. There's precedent to do this. We have congressional support to do this, and I think it's quite possible. And I know it sucks. I know many of you invested thousands of dollars in this fight, paying the consulate or even some lawyers that charged. But you still have people working for you, so don't give up hope. Now, I also want to address the DV 2021 lawsuit, which we're filing shortly. We're gathering plaintiffs. We're gathering the information, and we're going to file. Why are we filing now? Well, clearly, Department of State is not issuing visas. So they're back to their old tricks, and they're ignoring the decision of Judge Mehta, saying you can't not issue visas. All right, so we're fighting on that. Now, we're also including in that lawsuit people who were not plaintiffs, because plaintiffs you only get one plaintiff. You can only sue one time in the States. You can't get multiple bites of the apple. Non-plaintiffs in Aker, Gomez, Fang Zhang, Mohammed, non-plaintiffs who got their visas issued. And so those 5,000 people. So the only reason you can't come in is because of the ban. So we're going to go after that. We're going to go after that in our DV 2021 F2A IR5 lawsuit. All right. Now we're charging for that lawsuit because we're working free forever, and we want to use a big chunk of that money to hire lobbyists in DC. And you can't hire lobbyists from Air. All right. So that's kind of where we are. I think that gives you a good sum up of what's going on here. Now, we will be filing a response, the Aker plaintiffs, to the government's request for stay. The government has requested a stay in our case. We're going to fight that. I don't know what the judge is going to do, but we're going to fight that because we want the judge to process the case as quickly as possible to get free for the 9,000 additional visas. It's up to the judge. Honestly, let's be totally honest here. The judge is probably going to stay it. Okay. It's off his immediate calendar. His calendar is full of crazy stuff. Everybody's suing Trump in DC. The judge is probably up to his eyeballs in lawsuits. So that's where we are. Now, I also understand, although I've never been served with it, that there's a motion to consolidate this Kennedy lawsuit, which we advised people was unnecessary to join because they would be non-plaintiffs anyway, covered by our lawsuit, to consolidate that with our lawsuit. We haven't been served with anything. Clearly, we would oppose that because we fought for non-plaintiffs and nobody else did. So we would like non-plaintiffs to get the benefits. I don't know what the judge is going to do with that. You'd have to talk to those lawyers, but we will certainly enter our notice in that about our legal position on that. And I don't know what Gomez's legal position on that is. They might take no position. But I think it's important to say, look, people have now lined up. They've done the work. They worked hard. They didn't get within the deadline, but we should respect that as non-plaintiffs. And I know the judge questioned the Kennedy lawsuit in oral argument that we had last with him in the Aker case, in the Aker Gomez case. So I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I wasn't part of that. I didn't listen to it. So there you go. All right. Now, I want to answer some questions. Let's see what we got here. Michelle from England, you're up at midnight or 11 a.m. I don't know what time it is over there. Michael, let's see. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I don't know where you are, Mary Lou. Marlia, you. All right, Michael, give an update on the Gomez appeal. All right, so I've done that already. All right. Why Gomez lawyers? No, Sharon, they're not slowing it down. So I answered that. All right, we don't need the rest of hearing. We're good. Okay. So it's not going to take years. The 9,000 will be issued either later this year or early next year. All right, that's going to happen. Unless the judge rules against us, he might change his mind. This is not final yet, but I think we're going to win. Opinion of say of action. Again, I gave you my opinion on that. The ban litigation. How will it be 2021? Again, should have been listening. Although if you want to be part of our new lawsuit on DV 2021, then you need to litigate. Then you need to go to that. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put that link up here so you all have that. So if you want to be part of the DV 2021 lawsuit, here is the data on that. And enter that in. And so you can go to this link and click on this link. And you can enroll. You have to, just like we did on DV 2020, there's a questionnaire to fill out. There's declaration to do. There's documents to be given. And it's $1,000 for that. All right. Per family. So DVs are family. So principal and everybody else is included. It's not, and it's not divided. It's one payment up front. That's how it's going to work. All right. So I think that's good. All right. Let's see. Abitha. All right. We talked about that. We talked about that. Gomez representatives got their visas. Yeah. So Samin, I mean, you and I've talked before online here. 80% of the visas went to non-plaintiffs. That's pretty damn wonderful, if you do say. You're welcome. All right. The rest of the 9,000 are all going to non-plaintiffs. All right. All going to non-plaintiffs. Because every Gomez plaintiff and every Aker plaintiff either got their visa or they were denied their visa. All right. That's what happened. So there's no more plaintiffs from our perspective that didn't get done. Veronica, podemos irnos sin representación de un abogado, una cita de inmigración aquí delante. Okay. Veronica, no estamos hablando de estas cosas ahorita. Okay. Mañana a las 2. All right. We do Facebook Lives here at Cook Baxter every day at 2 o'clock where we answer questions for free and help people, but this is not that. So you're in the IV ban as a DV 2020 holder. If Gomez appealed, could it happen that I face declining of my case? No, Damon, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you. You're good. You're okay. Can I ask your people to submit declarations at least? No, Seaman, that's not how this works. You were a plaintiff or you weren't a plaintiff. That's done. All right. Reserve visas start counting. Yes, so after that date, and they've issued none. So the 9,095 are still there. They're unused. They're sitting there waiting to be used. All right. And we're waiting to see what order they will take them in. Critical mission services. Again, Egypt's been a nightmare. Turkey's been a nightmare. One of the benefits to waiting on these till January is that the corona situation may clear. I mean, after all, President Trump was miraculously cured. Like Jesus came down and cured him. Yeah, that's a joke too. That didn't happen. Chances will apply a class certification IV ban. Well, we're asking for a class. So in the new IV ban litigation, the new stuff, not the current one. Remember, we have a class. The judge made us certify a class for DV 2020. We'll be asking for the same thing in our new IV ban litigation group. All right. And he joined the lawsuit. No, again, no DV 2020 people that were plaintiffs in our lawsuit. The only plaintiffs we will take from 2020, the only ones, are those that had visas issued that can't come in. We cannot add any other DV 2020 plaintiff. We can't. We have no legal basis to add you. And we're not going to mess up the case. Any update on Presidential Proclamation 9983? Okay, let's proclamation. Let's see. That is this the Schengen Proclamation? Okay. No, this is the Burma, Kyrgyzstan. No, we have nothing new on that. We'll probably throw that in our lawsuit anyway. DV 2020 issued prior reissued. Well, Gildas, was your prior visa valid on April 23rd? If it was valid on April 23rd, then you can come in. And if you need help with that, call our law firm or call one of the lawyers and they'll help you. All right. You don't have. My wife loves me too. again, courts of appeals can do anything. It's not final. That's what's so miraculous about the visas that were issued. It's not final yet. We're still fighting. It's going to take a lot of effort still. Decision on the Gomez appeal. Again, as I said earlier, probably mid to late December. All right. People in DV 2020, if you want, we have somebody right now who won DV 2020 and he won DV 2021. That dude should play the lottery when he comes here, everywhere. Yes, if you're in DV 2020 and if you have a high number, you should be in DV 2022. Absolutely. There's no harm doing that. In case they're winning, waiting for you to be scheduled, there's people close. Again, we don't know. Hussein, we don't know. No sabemos. All right. Biden is going to win the election. Well, Maggie, if you feel that way, I love you. I voted, by the way, and my vote counted, so I'm good. Hussein not going to win. Florida will. Florida, what do you know about Florida? Actually, I don't think Florida would win the election. I don't think that swings the election. I can't tell you about chances. I am not a prophet. I don't know how they're going to. Stop asking if you have a chance. In fact, I'm not going to answer those questions anymore. If you email, direct message, I'm not going to answer them. I don't know. Okay. You guys appeal to cancel. So do you have any guesses what would be response to the court? I think we have a really good chance on appeal. I do. There is, especially now that the NAM lawsuit struck down that, and that's why we're filing the next lawsuit in California in that same district, because I think there's a strong reason to strike it down. I think Judge Maida was wrong. He was absolutely wrong. He read the Supreme Court's decision wrong. It's a wrong decision. So, Cal, I don't know the future. Thank you very much. Let's see. Join the Luzon against this was no. You're good, Fernando. You're in good shape. All right. Let's see. What do you mean when you wrote in your late tweet? Said or confirmed that Maggie, it says exactly what it says. The 9095, those visas are the visas that will now be issued. So there's 9,000 of visas to be issued. None of those were used prior to September 30th. That's a good thing because people were saying, oh, no, they counts the visas they issued the last week of the month. No, this is a good thing. Any legal action taken? Yes, we're going to file to get you appointments now. We want to get them moving. Tenemos gente y no voy a viajar por la sierra de las fronteras. Podemos renovarla si proceden de las demandas. Zarife, ese es. Estamos por los venezolanos, especialmente los cubanos. Estamos luchando todavía para que el juez reinstituye lo que hizo antes de dar la expansión de las visas. Vamos a necesitar más gente. Tendremos que tener declaraciones de la gente que no podían viajar para sus visas. So if you were a visa holder on April 23rd and you couldn't get a visa reissued by the consulate, we need you to email. You need to email me or Phil. You need to email me your evidence, your declaration. You can send it to Phil. He likes more emails. And I won't be in tomorrow anyway. Send it to Phil that you couldn't get reissued because you couldn't get to the consulate. We need those so we can go back to the judge and ask him to clarify the order and give us that class, okay? If you have a number, anybody who if you didn't get a visa, go into DV 2022, all right? Okay, there we go. Let's see. Any legal ask the judge? Me, though, I'm not going to think the judge has set his mind on this. We will likely ask him to reconsider. We'll call out that his math was wrong, that he used the wrong basis, but he was so stuck on fairness, that was just, it's where he was. We'll go on appeal, but that's going to be tough. Let's say you win 2020, okay? Well, win 2020. Where is that? Where is it? Let's say you win the 2020 lawsuit. Interviews. We're going to ask that they start right away. The hope is by mid-November, we'll be in court and have a decision in November. So certainly not before the end of November, all right? And keep in mind, we have a big holiday in the U.S. in November. No, Judge Mehta is not issuing a final decision in the coming weeks. He's not. Because the government has Ayla days, so you can request it. No, Sheriff, go back and listen to the first part of the video. We're not. Available increased number of visas? I don't think so. What do you think about the Kennedy case? I already told you what I thought about the Kennedy case. I told you all along what I thought about that. Who will get it? Doctor? I don't know. Dr. Jesus. I love your name. Waiting for the family visa lawsuit. Yeah, that will be updated next week. We're gathering clients. We need more clients to get going. All right. So there it is. Half hour. I went through everything. We're good. Hopefully, if you feel like your question wasn't answered, go back and listen, because I guarantee you that I answered your question. All right. I guarantee you I answered your question on the DV 2020 Aker Gomez lawsuit. We will have another update on Monday night on the DV 2021 lawsuit. All right. We've got a lot of lawsuits going on for O1s. Somebody asked about e-visas today. We're going after the Schengen ban. We need to look at the Proclamation 9983. So a lot of that stuff going on. All right. There are only a limited number of human beings. I appreciate all of you. I respect all of you. We're fighting for all of you to get the benefits you deserve, especially in the DV 2020. Until next week, you guys have a good week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.